1 second. Just finishing. There we go. Look at this. Gem Mint 10 high approved Rabbids Go Home, a comedy adventure for the Wii. The seal has a tear in it. I don't know how. I'm about to sell this on eBay for about 10 million. I'll settle for 7. But yeah, this company, I love this company that grades my games. If you can't tell, I think game grading's stupid. Let's talk about it. What is going on, everyone? It's me, Ty, and today I want to talk about game grading. And yeah, like I said, I think it's dumb. There, if you want to go type your comment why you think it's the best thing ever, or type your comment that I am based, do both. Thank you. Before I get all that, I want to say thanks again for all the support. I really appreciate it, and I kind of like doing these ramble videos where I kind of have like a mini script that I'm going off of, but then it's just kind of like my thoughts. I feel like that's when like I get my best thoughts out, is when I'm just talking with a set topic, but also just kind of just going through, no time limit. If you want to continue all the conversations and stuff and join the community, Discord link in the description below with a couple other links. We talk video games and video games and video games. Okay, with that out of the way, I want to get in some game grading stuff. I don't hate you if you do it. Let me get that out of the way, okay? You can... I'm not calling you the devil for doing it. You can chill out. Though, if you do it, actually, I want to get this part done. If you do it, I really want to know why, because I guess I don't understand why. And I really don't get it more recently. So, I saw a tweet talking about from Wata. If you don't know, Wata, I guess, is kind of considered now the authority for game grading, even though VGA, Video Game Authorization Association, I don't remember what that stands for, but they've existed for like a good amount of years. I think mid 2000s, late 2000s, I don't know. But Wata, it started in like 2017 or 18, and they've quickly become like the new thing. And I'm not really going to talk too much on the scandals of it, if you're aware. I will touch a little later on that, but there are videos out there talking about Wata and their suspicious activities, to say the least. But what I saw Wata tweet out a day or two ago. I think it was, the time I'm making this was yesterday, which was making me think about it a lot. They are going to start grading like 3DS. I think 3DS, Switch, I would assume Wii U, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles. Did I say Nintendo Switch? If I didn't, Nintendo Switch. Which are all still relatively new. Even like PlayStation 4 and Xbox One and Nintendo DS. It kind of makes me wonder, has the point of this been lost? I never saw a real point to this. If you're grading sealed games, you are grading, you are paying tons of money more to just get someone to say, yeah, that's sealed pretty well, or yeah, it's not really sealed well, and then reseal it for you pretty much in a plastic container or whatever it's made out of. It's this part is hard for me to word, because I own a few sealed games. At the end of the day, games are meant to be played. That is the whole thing. I highly doubt when people start making games and more companies start. I highly doubt any of these companies are ever like, yeah, we're making these with the intent to collect. You just happen to end up with a collection of video games. You know, you collect video games to play. At least I feel like that's how most people do it. You know, you might not play them all, but you say you will. That's how a backlog starts. But and that's why I personally try to avoid sealed games. I have a couple. Like, there is a novelty of owning something rare and that's sealed. There's no people hate that. There's people that hate that concept. Hate all you want, but I can say I don't have some sort of pride in my sealed Fire Emblem Fates special edition or my sealed Yokai Watch 3. There is something cool about that. But I'm not going to be paying somebody money for something I know the value of, the true value of. You know, there's not a ton of, like, the games that I don't have sealed, there's not a ton of them. And I think that's where the point starts at. You know, there's not a ton of sealed, really good-looking Mario 64s out there. And I guess if you want to get that graded, that makes some sense when you compare it to other grading things like grading comic books and Pokemon and any sort of other trading cards. I don't really get grading comic books like a ton, but I understand there's like a novel, like there's something to like want. You want to have that old comic book that most people probably didn't either keep or keep well taken care of in a good condition. There's something cool about that. You know, in Pokemon cards, like, you can still admire a card when it's put in that like PSA 10 case. You know, and I can't say the same about a comic book, obviously, but when things aren't preserved as well, you know, comic books are 80 years old, some of them, so it's pretty impressive. I believe 80 years old. Hopefully I'm not overestimating how old some of them are, but I digress about that. Game grading, though, for the most part, you're paying for some really obvious things, in my opinion. You know, when they grade those seals, is it really something that you couldn't just do before on eBay with a bunch of pictures, buying it cheaper? I believe most people watching this, if not all, I feel like there's a sentiment shared that people kind of think this is stupid, because I sure do. I do believe there's a difference between owning some sealed product and owning a graded thing. Because if you're buying the graded thing, I guess to me, I would love to know what you're buying it for. With other than the intent to keep selling it for money, and that's kind of where the scandal of it goes. You know, if you don't know, the Wata, like some of the really higher up people have been accused of reselling, like, basically faking games, or not, getting games with high ratings and then selling them for tons of money, inflating the market, and then the people buying these games aren't game collectors at all. I wonder what they're doing. Money laundering. What? No, when Mario Bros sells for $2 million because it's sealed, there should be some questions asked. Most people that are into game collecting do not have that type of money to drop on one single game, especially. It's just the fact of the matter, so there's questions to be asked, and if you want to look more into that, it's pretty interesting stuff. I'll try to remember to link a video in top of the description, otherwise it is pretty easy to find that type of information. Another thing I want to get back into is the beginning, when I was talking about Wata announcing they're going to be grading newer console titles, and going back to, has the point of it really been lost? The answer is definitely yes. There is millions, probably more Mario Odysseys than there ever was of Mario 64. And I can walk into Walmart right now, buy a copy of Mario Odyssey sealed, send it to Wata, probably get an extremely good rating because it's just been sitting on a shelf in its little plastic wrap. Get a good grade, probably sell it for 600, 700. That's not normal. Something is definitely suspicious about that. I mean, there's no rarity in this. Like, you know, I don't think... I mean, Mario 64 obviously sold a lot, but having that whole complete and sealed, that is pretty rare now. And I just don't think in, like, what would it be? Like, in a similar reference, 20 years from now, a sealed Mario Odyssey might be hard to come by, but there definitely will be way more out there ever than Mario 64. You know, I'm not saying the game's going to lose its value. Nintendo games, they'll stay at probably whatever it MSRP'd for at least. And these graded games are just really causing a big bubble that is going to probably pop, or just continue being some sort of money laundering scheme. I have no clue. But I do believe the point has been lost. There is no sense of, like, just preserving, like, I felt like the idea would have been to preserve and authenticate and, I guess, approve how good something looks that is old, specifically old. I thought it was ridiculous with Xbox 360 games. I mean, that console, you know, it's getting up there in age, but those games also, there was a lot of the games on that console got a lot of prints. Obviously, there's rare ones and stuff, but that's not what everyone's going to be sending in for. And that's not what everyone sends in, you know? People send in some common titles, and I guess I just wonder what has the point become of it. You know, game collecting, the value of a game collection and gaming items in general are not solely based on how pristine the game looks. You know, there is something added to it. If I were to buy let's say I had 2 sealed games and one had like a hair, like a little opening in the corner, I would price that one less than the one that has a good seal. You know, but if you were to send in, like, let's say you had a game signed by all the people that worked on it, or like a lot of the big people that worked on it, like maybe the director and some of the voice actors. In theory, Wata should give it a bad grade because it has writing all over it. So now, like, I mean, let's say you somehow get a game that is sealed, but it's signed by, like, let's say you get a Metal Gear Solid game and it's signed by Hideo Kojima. What do? You get it graded, and now it's like let's say they mark it as 5 because it has a big scribble on it, but the seal is good. Is it worthless, or is it worth probably more than a normal sealed version of the game? The answer would obviously be, to most people that collect games, is that it's worth more than just a normal sealed copy because it's signed by, like, the lead person behind Metal Gear. I hope that kind of makes sense, that from Wata's eyes, it's just about the seal and some other things that I'm not really going to care to get into. If you want to look up their whole grading system, it's online. I'm not linking it. I'm pretty convinced it's all a scam, and that it's just ruining something nice. You know, games are already pretty expensive, but I think it's starting to make it a little worse. It definitely has started making it worse. I do think that rare, like, games that didn't sell well, I don't want to say like, oh, this should definitely be worth more. You know, it would be nice in a perfect world where we can pay MSRP for everything, but when something's rare, it's just gonna make sense that people are gonna want more for it. And game grading, just to have someone else tell you that it's sealed and it's in good condition when you can see that in the pictures already, is not necessary, and it just really ruins the whole thing, and I just can't wrap my head around it. And I'm really sorry, I'm a bad ramble here, but I want to loop back. I want to loop back to the value part and kind of end. I would be pretty surprised if I sent in my Fire Emblem Fate Special Edition. It has a ding in the, like a tiny ding in the corner. It's pretty clean on the front and everything. The seals are totally perfect. Not like nothing is pushed in. I would guess I'd get an 8.5 with an A+ seal, or an A++ seal, honestly, because it's just 2 stickers. And the 8.5 for the ding in the corner. And I would be pretty surprised if I got, like, you know, give me like a little, like, wiggle room, and I think that'd be exactly what it is, because it's not hard to tell at all. And the authentication process it just doesn't seem like there's a lot that needs to be said compared to a Pokemon card or a comic book. You know, you're checking way more dents and centering and how well is the print quality still on it. I mean, there's a longer process to checking all that compared to a sealed thing, because a sealed thing, and I know they grade unsealed things, but most things with a insane value right now is sealed stuff. I mean, you really just have the covers to look at and the wrap. Or if it's in a box, you have the box to look at and the wrap. It's not rocket science. And I just can't wrap my head around why anyone would want to do that. Why would you want to pay somebody a bunch of money to tell you it's sealed well and now it has a ton of value? It doesn't make sense, because some of these things aren't even that rare. Sealed, yes, but to the point where Mario Bros. Sealed is $2 million. Yeah, something, there's a problem. I hope you enjoyed this ramble. I sure did, because it's just been on my mind. It's mainly been on my mind because I personally have gone back and forth about it. Do I grade some of my games or don't I? I'm not. With a heavy heart, I'm not. If I did it, I would sell it. Honestly, and knowing it won't go to any game collector, it kind of sucks. That thought. I could get a lot of money though. That's not a lie. I probably could get a good amount of money, especially if I give it a little more time. But I want to collect because it's fun. The value of it, sure, it's there, you know? I mean, I could list games that I have that are like, oh, this is a lot of money and this is a lot of money, and, you know, if someone ever wanted to buy it off me, I'll be like, yeah, this is the value of it. Game collecting shouldn't be about someone else telling you the value. It should be, well, it shouldn't be a third party telling you the value. The value is between the person buying and the person selling. Obviously, I'm talking about like things, game collecting in terms of things that aren't sold on shelves. The whole third party aspect just kind of ruins the whole thing to me. If I say if someone wanted to buy Fire Emblem Fate Special Edition, I'd probably tell them $1,300 for it at the moment. Someone want to buy Yokai Watch, I'd probably say $300-$400 for it sealed. Some of that might be a good price, some of it might not. That's what it is to me, and that's might be what it is to someone else. You know, and if I got it sealed and all this graded stuff, all of a sudden it becomes worth a ton more because a company that started, especially like 4 years ago. I don't know, guys. Kind of worry about the future for video game physical stuff because, I mean, it's not super popular yet, and I don't think it ever will be. I mean, grading Pokemon cards has been going on for a long time, and it's popular, but it hasn't really ruined the whole hobby, so I don't really feel like this should be a sound the alarm, everyone, but more like, someone get the FBI involved, because there is literal money laundering. This is not going to the collectors. I have yet to really see anyone's collection have many, or if any, graded games. I don't know. I keep looking at my collection. It's like, it's gonna get more impossible as time goes on. Anyways, I hope something was learned in this ramble. Hope maybe you can relate to it, or you hate me now. Don't hate me. I'm just a guy in his gaming chair. With that all being said, take it easy, everyone. And join the Discord so we can all hate on game grading together.